Regimental headquarters advise. Panzer Fusiliers are ready for action.
Alright, there you go. Setting that up. Let's see if we are in. Okay, here. Stream. If everything is working properly. Hopefully, it seems so. Let's read this just a little bit. Perhaps better now. Alright, so good afternoon or good morning to you all. So we got a nice game here on 1v1. Today we're gonna do a lot of casting because we got a new patch and I'm seeing a lot of Brit play, so I'm really happy with that. Right now, well, right now it seems like Tigers, it's not working very well, and Yak Tigers also got a little bit changed there on the main gun. He missed too many shots. We got a lot of games today. We're gonna see the difference between the factions and skill play. So we're gonna start with good players, great games we're gonna have, and then we're gonna finish with 4 against 4 in a big scale. So really good to see. We got a lot of games to cast. Again, I did this for fun, so any thing that I say, it's only my opinion. It doesn't count as a player, because one thing is to give your own opinion. Another thing is to realize that in-game situations is very tough to deal. Sometimes you just end up doing a mistake and then you cannot come back to the game, or you actually realize you're making mistakes and things like that. It happens to anyone. Alright, here we go. We are beautiful map here, Volshanka, created by Theodosius, and oh my gosh, I really forget the other person there. Alright, so it's a great map. A lot of people played this map. There's still a few issues here in the center. I guess that it's, well, I don't think the map is balanced. I really don't agree with the fuel points, unfortunately. But it makes the game battle more efficient because of the fuel right now. If you see, you can go for the cutoff point. That's always nice to see on the game. Just it's a little bit weird at this point here, just the fuel, but well, it's normal. You just need to go for the cutoff point inside the base. Just one point. It's very far, and it can be very easy to capture. And comparing that, you need to push in so deep that you don't have any cover. You are pretty much with some flowers there, how you want to call it, some timbers as well. So it's always on the backside of your back. So it's really no protection in this area at all. So it's more difficult to grab this point than this one actually. I don't know, it feels like that, but yeah, the points, the game looks balanced in terms. It's a beautiful map. I play a lot of times of it. I really love casting people playing on this on 1v1s. It's very engaging because you need to spread so far, and then you need to pick what side of the map you want to invest your units. The center is always a clusterfuck. It's a lot of units here in the stall mode because it's very green cover and yellow cover areas, so it can be very beneficial for any faction on the game, even for Axis. So we're gonna see, and we're gonna start. So we got VonAsten here, play with Brits on the red color on the right side of the map, in the Volshanka, and we got the blue for, I cannot pronounce those names, so Abokon West, player already locking down for grand offensive. We are seeing Passive Fusiliers, Stuka Smoke Drop, Infrared STG's 3-4 package, Panzer Commando tank, Tiger Tank in 12 CP points now needed. The big issue with the Tiger, it's just it doesn't eat that many infantry units. But if you manage to babysit the Tiger until you get that veterancy fully unlocked, you will end up seeing the Tiger how efficient it can be, and that's really nice. I really don't want to see one shot and kill the entire squad, but that's actually bad for any player, and it can be very nerve-wracking for allies to kill a Tiger. But right now, with this patch, it seems like any shot can penetrate on the Tiger on the front line. So the front armor of the Tiger seems got a little bit unlucky. Could be RNG, we never know. It's just you need to realize that any changes on those units, it's RNG factor, it's included. So any if they try to nerf, if they try to upgrade, so or the unit will get really strong or the unit will get really weak. That's always a big issue through the patches. So we're gonna see a nice game here. VonAsten also unlocking a commander, Royal Artillery Regiment. We got early warning, concentrating barrage, command detachment, Valentine. I really think the Valentine comes a little bit too late. It's 5 points, but that means it's around almost 10 minutes of a gameplay. You can reduce that timeline. You need to do a lot of damage, but you also can you also need to take a lot of damage. So there's a few options to unlock that Valentine a little bit early. It's kill as many units as you can, try to survive, try to increase the fighting possibility there, just to observe those points as faster as possible, just to unlock the Valentine. Valentine is a beautiful tank. It can do a lot of damage against the infantry. I'm not saying that it can face a Panzer IV in 1v1, but if it's supported by AT gun, my gosh, that Panzer IV will disappear from the map. Just the Valentine is really a nice armor. It can take a few shots. It can do a couple shots, but the main gun, it's not that great. You guys need to realize this is pretty much an anti-infantry build here by the Valentine, and that's great. I really hope we can see it. So here we go. Let's start. A beautiful gameplay here in Vilshanka.
This is it. This is it. Am I a clown? Do I make you laugh?
Yeah,
Fucking amuse you?
I really love the commentaries on the stormed pioneers. Alright,
A new infantry section is ready for battle.
normal build here for both players. Going for early Panzer Fusiliers can be very difficult to any player. The Panzer Fusiliers, they need a lot of yellow cover. Try not to be on open ground area, guys. You need to realize these units are great because of the sheaf or trees package, or even double punch tracks. You can rely a lot with Panzer Fusiliers. You can do a lot with them, but you need to pick your fights. So I'm really eager to see this early gameplay with Panzer Fusiliers against infantry section on yellow and green cover. I'm pretty much sure the infantry section, they will win because all of that covert combat bonus, it doesn't appear how many bonus that it does, but in green cover the accuracy and the damage those units can observe, it's quite seriously. So we're gonna see how the game goes for Overcome West and VonAsten as well. VonAsten, it's really a very tactical player. It got well, I can say that the guy doesn't blow. He plays with tactical, he plays with skills, he knows what type of map control he wants to do. As you can see, he's playing careful. He got fuel, he got a VP on the mid, it got the fuel covered by infantry section. Same time he's pushing up north and already engaging to the first battlefield against the Stone Pioneers. But unfortunately there's only one window there, so Oh, actually, there's no windows, perhaps. So Stone Pioneer is winning that engagement against the infantry sections. Infantry section on the green cover. Again, look at the damage already observing. Comes the UC Universe Carrier. It's quite problematic. It's always been and it will always be. Right now, it seems is a good option to go for it to counterattack Kubels, or even to do some damage against Stone Pioneers. It's a good call. Don't forget the Panzer Fusiliers. They will have the anti-tank rifle grenade. Already 50% damage. Backside being exposed. Here comes the Kubel to do a few shots. As you can see, the Kubel is totally in stand mode, so you can fire more efficient. And there you go, rate of fire actually gets increased, reloading time, and there you go, UC gets destroyed. Again, for me, in my opinion, I think they should consider upgrading the UC a little bit. It's too weak, it's easy to get kill, and it's a lot, comparing that it costs you 260 manpower for a Brit player, and that's not nice. But in return, with this new patch, it seems like infantry sections, they can be fine by their own. As you can see, already 2 kills, killing 1 model on the roof. This is a nice move by Obercon West player. It's going for the side cover here, but still, the damage rate that the infantry section is taking by double Panzer Fusiliers is not that great. Still 50% damage, one of the models goes down. VonAsten is trying to concentrate on only one squad. There you go, look at the damage that he observes by the infantry section. If he wasn't this green cover to protect the Panzer Fusiliers, believe me, that unit will survive and will manage to counterattack 2 units on green cover. Make sure you got your infantry sections always on green cover approach, and let your opponent to come to you. Nice build here. Very nice aggressive gameplay by VonAsten. As you can see, it's not blowing, it's just spreading. The way that he plays on the game, it feels so comfortable for VonAsten to go for the enemy fuel point, build a sandbag, lock down this point, delay any fuel to his opponent. And now having this Vickers, another UC coming in, and already upgrade with the mounted beautiful Vickers, or brand, as you prefer to call it. Normally in Computers 1 we call it brands, but now, well, it's fine. Yes, he needed to be moved. Try to suppress fire against the infantry units here. There you go, a few shots goes in. Oh, Panzer Fusilier is in very low situation here. Doesn't look very nice for Obercon West, as you guys can see, already taking a lot of damage. His back's inside the base. This early advantage is very good for a Brit player, meaning that you can go for crumbles around 10 minutes, 11 minutes of a gameplay. Just make sure you don't waste your fuel in upgrades. So you actually, it's a very good faction that give the possibility of a player to bring in a crumble in 11 minutes of a match. It's possible, as we can see. Got the entire map, double fuel, a lot of fuel actually, and it can lock down very early the command post if it decides to. So a lot of possibilities, a lot of units. We are not seeing the assault officer, but assault officer is very good, can be very powerful. UC will go down by Kubel, perhaps. Just need a couple shots there. Look at that, just a few more shots, and the UC could have gone down. If you realize, you know, it's a lot of investment. So we are speaking of 60 munitions, 260 manpower cost. Here comes the counter blob. It's trying to push VonAsten off the map. He needs to grab his territory back, but this was a little bit too late. As you can see, the infantry section with no cover bonus, taking 2 shots by double Fusiliers here, and still not managing to survive. Again, Panzer Fusiliers, they don't work very well on the early stage. You got 2 options. One is to benefit from those green cover and try to delay your opponent, or go straight to the upgrades of the G4 trees. Then they can scale, you get that extra man squad, and the game can be a little bit different. But in the meantime, VonAsten still controls the fight. He's picking where to fight, where can he concentrate. Again, there's no blob by those 2 players. That invasion force was the only way that Abercorn West did have to push back. So you guys need to realize that you got a few options and you need to explore it to come back to the game. Doesn't look very nice right now. 500 points for VonAsten. This Abercorn West guy is around top 20. So you know, it's a top player anyway. You know, top 20 on scale of the ranking on 1v1. That's, and still having a lot of issues against a top player as VonAsten. Again, we can see that there is no need to blob, and those units can be more efficient. Back before the patch, the infantry section, the best way was always to be in cover areas, try to fight for it, and try to delay your opponent. But right now, Brits, they feel very comfortable. But this early advantage by the cover bonus, it's a little bit too much for any Axis faction to deal with. Right now we are seeing the Abercorn West player still struggling a lot. As I was saying, is actually top 20 on 1v1s. So seeing a top player getting pushed back, losing the fuel, doesn't have map control, doesn't have VPs, 9 minutes of a gameplay, and almost 50% of the VPs already drained. So it means he got another 9 minutes of a gameplay, pretty much 15 or 16 minutes to finish. Again, double fuel for VonAsten, 9 minutes of a gameplay. We may see a Chromal. He got plenty of fuel, just need a little bit of manpower. Perhaps a Frostfly or a Centaur. He can build anything that he wants. And alright, so it's taking this opportunity to go for Anvil operations. Oh, it's not this one. Churchill will be unlocked. AV engineers, air blast shells is a great ability there to deal with infantry. But look at this build, look at this map control. But a good play, always denying the green cover to his opponent with the Wreckenwerfer. It's always a good decision. But don't forget, Brits, they can build trenches, and that's even worse. You don't want to face a Brit player that can explore that ability by spamming a lot of trenches and delay you any pushes from the map forward. So it's a faction that you can explore more, it's a faction that you can abuse, and I must say that VonAsten is playing very nice. You know, it's a skillful player. Right now, well, Tommy's on the red cover. As you can see, he will get shot down very often, and he can go down easy. I think that right now, the only thing that Tommy's they don't need anymore, it's the cover bonus. This should be removed because the unit is fine. As we can see, you know, the unit is fine. It's more difficult right now for Axis to push away those infantry sections when they are in green cover areas, and that is being very problematic. We're gonna see a lot of top players going for Brits because they want to rank up, they want to be on top 10s or top 20s, so pretty much sure we're gonna see a lot of Brit plays. It's very difficult for Axis right now. I'm seeing double ALGs here, just trying to counter-attack by indirect fire. Probably we are seeing the Churchill on the build. So 12 minutes of a gameplay and we got a Churchill coming. Well, but yeah, the bigger issue is just the infantry. You know, that green cover area, the increased rate of fire on those units, and you know, it means they got accuracy, they fire more often, and they got survivability in the cover. So it means it's more difficult to push them out of the map. You need to blob, you need to spam, or you need to go for counterattack. And right now the only counterattack is double LAGs here. But he's managing to come in on the game, you know, trying to go for the repeats, trying to stop that bleed out. But he doesn't have any control of the fuel. The big issue with Obocon West is when you lose a building, you need to spend fuel again to build it again. So it gets even worse for Obocon West, comparing that Austere. You always can bring a 222 to shaft, you know, use the shock blocker against those Tommies, but still accuracy can be very annoying and damaging observing. And the 222 it's always nice to have. So Austere it's always a good faction to pick. It's a more balanced faction that can deal in terms of skill. Unfortunately, Austere as well being suffer in terms of infantry play. Beautiful. What the hell? Only that damage? Alright, so we did have a sneaky mine, and he only took like 5% of damage, maybe 10 on the Churchill, and now he needs to repair. Round engineers coming in.
Brim guns and Piat launchers can now be used by many units.
7 kills on the UC. Again, just not being able to proceed. He's trying to lock down with the Schwerpanzer. It's the only option that he got. So it cost him 60 fuel, and he still needs to wait around maybe 5 minutes more, just 5 minutes more just to bring the Panzer full. And now he's getting bombarded by that beautiful base Turley by the Brits. Actually, this is a very smart play. It's trying to destroy all those cover borders, making the terrain a little bit more open. So if he decides to lock down here, he may. Big fire here on the VP. The map got absolute control for VonAsten. Again, it can pick where to fight, can pick where he wants to do damage. Reckon-Werfer, well, it's penetrating, you know, it's actually penetrating. Every shot there did penetrate. We did see that amount of damage. So I'm quite astonished seeing the Reckon-Werfer actually penetrating the Churchill, because last night I've been playing a lot, and in my call, believe me, the Reckon-Werfer always fail to penetrate on front armor, and you get so many issues there to destroy that tank. Churchill is a very heavy armor tank. It does very good against the infantry units, and it can last very long on the field. Double Reckon-Werfers is not enough to kill it. It got smoke. You may think, oh, he can go for attack round, but believe me, most of the shots by the Reckon-Werfer with no veterancy or even vet 1, it will barely do any damage to it, or it will be very difficult for a player to counterattack. This could be the first loss by VonAsten. Oh my gosh, the unit survivability there. That's the beauty of the Brits. It's just so difficult to kill the infantry. We're gonna see the kill ratio after this, and you guys are gonna to realize how efficient the infantry section they can be right now. You know, they are not in cover. Schwerpanzer taking a lot of shots. He's trying so hard to lock this area of approach, but he's going to lose the Schwerpanzer. There you go. This is game over. There's no way for Obocon West to come to the game. And that Churchill just got a little bit of scratch. Here comes the... Oh man, that's a pity. We did see the anti-tank rifle, but he didn't get engine damage, even from the backside, and that's always a problem against Brett's armor.
What's the job?
Right now it just feels like Abercorn West doesn't have that much of open area against Brett's anymore.
Fuckers, trying to work
You know,
on
he
the
still can take a lot of damage. But it's a good decision, it's a good tank. UC could go down. Taking a few shots here. Alright, we got a bug. This actually happens a lot. There you go. Not a bug. I guess that he was distracted. Yeah, I think VonAsten was so distracted that he didn't realize it. And now we got those AC LEGs doing nicely against the UC and destroying completely. 50% damage by the Saxon, already 10 kills, base attack there, destroying everything. Man, it's just hilarious. You can see how efficient can be, but VonAsten is a top player. It's a very good player. You guys need to realize this guy is one of the best players on Competitor of Heroes 2 since the beginning. So you cannot take him light at all. It's a great player. He doesn't blow up. He got a small army. He only got 3 infantry sections, 2 Vikers, and 1 Royal Engineer. You know, it's again, he doesn't need that many units, and he's still maintaining VP control, maintaining map. Oh, look at that, just wasting all his fuel trying to build those units. The big issue right now also, it's the beautiful grenade. Look at that, beautiful there. 10 kills on the Panzerfoot Slayers, finally paying off, but unfortunately they are not equipped with the G43s, so they cannot face those units spot on. Because it could go down, just need one more shot. There you go. It's very frustrating. Oh my gosh, Wrecker Weapons OP. They managed to kill 2. They managed to wipe 1 model of the squad with 1 shot. They actually got infantry kill here. Actually got 2 infantry kills on the Wrecker Weapon. So best counter so far. But yeah, it's not an easy game. Again, Abercorn West player, it's a top 20 on 1v1. So you guys need to realize this is a top player. So there you go. Saxon goes down. Wrecker Weapons trying to deal with the Churchill. As you can see, it doesn't do that much of a damage. Even with the pack 40, you get that unlucky shot by a Churchill or Comet that kills the entire crew of the pack 40 and it gets abandoned with 1 shot. And that happened to me a lot, and it can be very frustrating to any active players. It's not an easy decision, it's not easy to keep up with the game. I'm quite surprised that the Abercorn West player didn't give up. He's still trying to build up. He knows that he needs, if he wants to give opportunity for him, he needs to have those Schwerpanzer, at least the mechanized support. But right now, VonAsten is just unbeatable. He got plenty of fuel. He can go for a secondary Churchill if you wish. Got plenty of fuel for it. It comes to base barrage, concentration barrage. Again, directly on the Schwerpanzer. Look at that, beautiful, just beautiful. It's a great commander to pick. The ability that he gives you, it's supreme there. Churchill just so difficult to counterattack. It's taking so many shots by the Wrecker Weapons. Still on the front line fighting. 11 kills and counting. Schwerpanzer is still alive. Perhaps we're gonna see a Jagdpanzer because it's cheaper than a Panzer IV. But still, you just need a few more shots and that thing should go down. It's very difficult to play with Abercorn West right now against Brits. Just if you are facing a good player as VonAsten, you will just concentrate destroying those buildings, and losing every time a building. It's not a good decision for Abercorn West. It's very difficult, but he doesn't give up. You know, he's trying to keep a little bit of fuel, trying to keep a little bit of resources. But those vehicles, man, look at that, 12 kills. Vet 3 already, another one with 7 kills. Vet 2, he does look great. Here comes the Valentine. Perfect combination with the Valentine. Valentine actually got the concentrated Sexton barrage, so you can use your Sexton and focus fire there. Look at that, Shred Panzer being shot down again. It's very difficult. Comparing that with Ostier, you can build your base, your buildings last longer than Oberkon West. So, and well, they still cost you fuel to build them, but yeah, it's not easy. Right now it feels that you need to play with a lot of MGs just to lock down one MG to counter another MG, and just to hold some territory.
They have 100 points remaining.
Just the players, Axis players, are being obligated to play more with MGs and support guns as well. Of course, Blob, it's always a good opportunity to come back to the game. But I really don't support blobbing, guys. You should. You guys need to realize this is a very skillful play. You know, I'm seeing a Oberkon West guy that doesn't give up, still goes for the gameplay. The game is lost for him. Doesn't matter what he does now. He doesn't have fuel. You know, he cannot bring a target. He cannot build anything. It's being shut down. He can put the mechanized here far corner, so his opponent doesn't realize. But you need to realize that inside the gameplay, it's very intense. It's not easy. Look at that. Nice micromanaging, but he will lose it. Infantry section with 40 kills and count 14 kills by the way, and counting. MG34 got stolen. Beautiful grenade. Perhaps this is payback now. Almost vet 5 Panzer Grenadiers, Panzer Fusiliers. Comes the Churchill. Alright, he managed to grab his fuel. Again, trying to use the Schwer Panzers just to lock down the fuel. VP control still goes for VonAsten. There's a lot of salvage. Well, those in the mid are already being salvaged, but he got a little bit of fuel there. You can use it. It's only 5, but well, 5 fuel, it's better than nothing, so. Beautiful LGs with 9 kills, Vet 2, and Vet 3, and then Vet 2 with 6. Wrecking weapons on the move. Trying to deal with the Valentine. Again, the Valentine, it's a great tank to have it. It's a very heavy base against infantry. And that's, oh, it's a rifle nade actually. There you go, right? Anti-tank rifle grenade goes in. He managed to wipe the entire Valentine, and he comes another Cromwell. Just speeding up on the field. He can build another Cromwell if he decides to. Just the tanks is not a big problem at all for Brits. I always did find British tanks more difficult to destroy. Rifle grenade again, not doing any engine damage, because he still got a lot of health, so he got a lot of HP left before he can get engine damage, and that's always difficult for Axis to implement that damage engine. Oh, I must say, it's not easy. It's not easy game for Oberkon as player. It's very frustrating. Again, it's a top player. VonAsten is a great person, and he gets a nice kill for play. We barely see any blobs. There's actually no blowing. This is a very, you know, both players trying to do some skillful play, but yeah, we can feel that Brits are a little bit more stronger. but they actually needed before the infantry section. They could die very easy if they were not covered around them. So depending on the maps, infantry section would be just dead. Another infantry section with 16 kills, another one with 13 kills. Already equipped with some brands, machine guns. It's still good. Looks, it's very nice. I must say, they look great. The faction right now it's very strong. The only thing that they should consider removing is just the cover combat modules. There you go. We got engine damage.
50 points left.
Schwerpanzer will get destroyed again, and I must say that he didn't give up. He played till the end. That's beautiful to see on Computers 2. A player that doesn't give up, still trying to fight in, still believes, perhaps not in the victory, but still wants to be as annoying as possible to his opponent, and could pay off. One more shot to the Schwerpanzer. There you go. Churchill could go down here. Got the beautiful crew self-defense built here. Already 33 kills on the Churchill. Again, this is a top 20 player, easy. So they are top players, and this is a top game. But it's just
Churchill tank has been destroyed.
there's a nice thing that Albuquerque West player could do. Again, even I'm pretty much sure the game was over for a long time, but still was nice to see VonAsten is a top player. Really love seeing VonAsten play. You can learn a lot. He got really nice micromanaging. He knows what units he's building. We did see that UC going down really fast on the early stage, and then still didn't give up, and he decided to build another UC just to keep the game going. Alright, we're gonna go for our secondary game. Congrats to VonAsten. Beautiful victory here. This was a totally annihilation, but a great play. Most of the players, they don't go for role engineers. Actually, probably role utility. We barely see the Saxon in the game, but we see it. We did see it, and he did have like 10 kills. So Valentine always, it's a great call in, can be very good. We also did see it. It's a type of player that he can use all the abilities of the commander that he picks. So that's really nice, and it's very good. We did see a lot of concentrating barrage, shutting down those buildings, and again, it's very difficult for Albuquerque West to face Brits right now. It's just all that indirect fire, destroying the buildings itself. It's get you so far back that it's so difficult to bring even a tank. We didn't even see a Puma or Panzer IIs, nothing at all. But you guys need to realize before the patch, a lot of brackets, I'm going to say like that, players, they normally go for infantry build, recon weapons, and a tiger. And that's how they win in 1v1s or 2v2s. And that been very frustrating for allies because it's not fair. And now, right now, the table just turned because of the Brits. So I think, if everyone played nice, stop blowing, perhaps the patches won't destroy your gameplay. But we can see the amount of kill here. You cannot forget that Churchill with 33 kills on totally, and still Sexton with 10 kills, so that's roughly around 4 kills on totally, and still got advantage in terms of 120 kills with the infantry. So it's really nice, nice gameplay there. And props to the Oberquan West player. Didn't give up, still firing in. Again, Passive Fusilers, they are great. On totally, they did have 26 kills against the infantry. As we can see, it took a lot of damage, almost 10k of damage. That's a lot. It did. That's the reason he got survivalist there. I reckon weapons being the number. Well, the only 80 capability that he did have. He did try a couple of times to instant damage on those tanks, but unfortunately he didn't. As we can see here, the both factions, they scale very nice because Oberquan West can bring the Kubel, and that gives you a little bit more survivability against Brits on early stage only, until that EC comes in and start breaking the game a little bit. But again, the EC, it's not OP, it's easy to counterattack. We just saw that by the Oberquan West player killing the first UC, but VonAsten deciding to keep going with the UC, decided to upgrade it with Vickers, and he lost to double LAG. So again, I'm not sure if it was a bug, perhaps he could not move, or he was distracted with this Churchill there. But again, it's novel. You need to realize in-game conditions, it's very difficult for a player to see the bigger picture sometimes, or even to realize that he got a unit so far on the map that he's taking damage. So it happens, you know, you end up losing a squad. It happens to any player. Again, no blob, and we can see how efficient the Brits are. We're gonna go for a secondary game, and we'll be in Poltava. I'm gonna this will be very nice because this is a very close combat map. The TR Fire and Terror and TR Olvali, they are great players. Actually, the entire clan of TR, they are really good at exploring the faction. You know, they use those things are more stronger, but they are still skillful. They blob. I cannot say